Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And I'm here today with a project share for a Shabby Chic pouch or clutch. I belong to Amy Love's Facebook group and joined one of her swaps that she was hosting, and it was to create a little clutch that was in a Shabby Chic style, and then we are to fill it up with goodies for our swap partner. And I just wanted to pop on to share my final little clutch and how it turned out. And here's kind of the front view of it and the back view. And so and then when you open it up, I did use a little bit of a Velcro closure. I decorated the top part right here a little bit, and then here's the little pocket, and then you can see the other laces and trims. So I'll hold it up close so you guys can check out all the details. So up on this part right here, I used some bridal trim that came from Hobby Lobby, and then I went ahead and added some flat back pearls to that. And you can see on the edge right here, I have this little rosette and bead trim that also came from Hobby Lobby. And this is also some older lace from Hobby Lobby. And I use that to edge it, so you'll see that on all the edges. In the middle, I have this fun little flower, and I picked this up a long time ago at my local scrapbooking store. It was kind of an embellishment. And then behind it I added a little bit of leaf trim, and that just came again from, I think that came from some trim that I picked up at the thrift store, and I just cut it apart for the leaves. And then I did hang off of it one of these fun little pink and rhinestone hearts, and that comes from Angel Dreams Crafts Kim. They're fun little charms, and I just used a little bulb pin to attach it. And then I'll just show you guys the back side. So on the back side, I used a different bridal trim right here. This one was a really big one, and I just had a snippet left of it, but it happened to fit just perfectly. It had some other little pieces that went further down right here, and I'd used those on a previous project. It was, you know, an old, I think, design team project from Angel Dreams Crafts Kim, because this came from her when I was on her design team. And so I just had this little snippet left, and it just happened to fit. And I thought that was perfect and kind of corresponded nicely, or went well with the bridal trim that I had picked up at Hobby Lobby a while ago. And then again, on the back side, you can just see that I edged it with that rosette trim. And then going back to the front side, if I open it up, on the inside I put more of that Hobby Lobby bridal trim, and also the bigger flat back pearls. Those are from my stash that I went ahead and added it to it. The original trim had the small pearls, but I just kind of added to it. And then at the pocket part right here, you can see I have some rosette trim and some more trim right here. Again, this is another Angel Dreams Crafts Kim on Etsy. She's on Etsy, and this is another trim that I had left over from a design team project in the past. And I just had just enough to lay across there. And then on top of that, I went ahead and I added this fun little pink dangle trim. And this trim I actually ended up finding at a thrift store, and it already had the pearls up here on it, already attached, but I went ahead and added the pearls down here. And these are kind of like dangles, but I did attach them. I did glue them down to the pouch. And then underneath there, oops, I dropped it. Underneath there, you can see I added a couple layers of dangles. I had this layer of dangle, and again, this is another Angel Dreams Crafts Kim one. And on this one, I added the flat back pearls to it. I just love that look with the flat back pearls. And then underneath there, this also is an Angel Dreams Crafts Kim dangle lace with the little leaves on it. And I have 2 layers of that added. So I had 1 layer on the front side and then 1 layer on the back side. So there's a total of 3 dangle layers hanging off of the bottom. And I just love how that looks. And then I just thought I would show you real quick how I put just the base together in case you're curious on putting one of these together yourself. So what I started off with is I do have these placemats that I picked up from the thrift store and I washed them, and so I use this as my base. And I don't have any more, but in the middle of it I did add some felt just to add a little bit of stability. But you could add felt, or there's that product called Pellon, P-E-L-L-O-N, or some sort of batting. You can put that in the middle. And then you would put another layer, and this again is a placemat from the thrift store. And so once I had those 3 layered together, I did go ahead and sew them together on my sewing machine. So then I would have the 2 pieces. And then once that was done, I would go ahead and I folded it up like this. I just decided how big of a flap I wanted on the top. And so once I had that decided, I just went ahead and again on my sewing machine, I just stitched down on the 2 sides to make it into a little pouch. And I do have another one that I started. This one hasn't been decorated, but just so you can kind of see what that looks like. And I love using placemats when you find them at the thrift store. There's all sorts of different styles and materials, but they seem to be the perfect size for these little type clutches or pouches. And if I measure like this one, you know, it's 11 inches across. And then if you wanted to know this way, in case you're just cutting material, looks like it's what, 12, you know, 16 to 17 inches wide is how wide it would be if you are interested in cutting just material. But I just find it a little bit quicker and easier to use and recycle or upcycle placemats to create these little pouches. And then of course, after I had them stitched and sewed together, then I went ahead and I glued all my laces and trims down. You could hand stitch them. I chose to glue them, and most of the time I use Fabri-Tac to glue my fabric down. It doesn't get quite as stiff as the hot glue gun. But I did use the hot glue gun to like glue down the flat back pearls. And then I also used the hot glue gun I ended up having to use it for this trim right here on the side also, from Hobby Lobby, because that one just had the rope pearls on it, and that one just stayed a little bit better once I used that. So that is how I completed my pouch. So hopefully you guys like it. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.